The Girl on the Train is a thriller directed by Tate Taylor and stars Emily Blunt, Justin Theroux, Luke Evans, and Edgar Ramirez. This film is based on the bestseller of the same name written by Paula Hawkins. Now, the story of this movie is a woman who is a bit of an alcoholic, rides this train back and forth every single day, and she has a very imaginative mind, so she kind of makes up stories about the people that she sees as she passes these particular houses. Now, one day she sees something a little bit suspicious, and sort of gets caught up in this investigation. That one of the women that she sees ends up going missing and finds out that she was actually killed. Now, because she is sort of involved, she gets to be the main suspect. It's a pretty big mess. It's got it filled with twists and turns. This film I was kind of expecting to be like Gone Girl, which I loved. I read the book for that. I didn't read the book for this film, but I read the book for Gone Girl, and I saw the movie. And I have to say that was probably one of the best book-to-film adaptations I've ever seen. But because I hadn't read the book for this film, I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't really know how the story was going to go. I didn't know what the twists and turns were going to be. So I was able to see it with a pretty open mind. I didn't really expect any certain thing to be accurate from the book because I hadn't read it, unlike Gone Girl, which I had done earlier, which was phenomenal. But this one was in that similar style, which definitely drew me into seeing it. This film, however, was a bit of a mixed bag. It had a lot of great ideas and great aspects that were right up my alley, but at the same time there were some pieces that just weren't that captivating. They're kind of bland. The performances by the main cast were actually pretty good. Emily Blunt did a great job, Justin Theroux, Luke Evans, all of them did very, very good jobs. So there wasn't necessarily a character that I felt was unimportant. Every single character had an interesting story, side story, apart from the main story. So whether or not it went into a different direction than what the actual story was, I think I would have been just as interested because there was a lot of drama going in each person's lives. So if they would have explored any of those avenues, it would have been just as interesting if they had done what they had done in the film. Another thing that I really liked about this film was the mystery and suspense surrounding the entire story. As you know, I'm big into plot twists. This one did have a plot twist as I suspected, but it wasn't really anything shocking. It wasn't anything as shocking as the marketing material had claimed it to be. On a lot of the posters it said like, what did she see, or the most shocking story you'll ever see or read, or anything like that. It actually wasn't that shocking. There were a couple of scenes that I thought were a little bit messed up, but that's about the extent of it. There was no real scene where I was gasping in shock and just horror at what had actually happened. So I was a bit misleading there, but I did like the story, the overall mystery, the style of how it was shot. That was all pretty well done. However, there are a lot of moments in this film where I felt like it would have made more sense if I had read the book. There are certain scenes where it gets a little bit choppy, especially in the beginning. We're introduced to 3 different women in 3 different sort of times of their lives. Well, maybe not times of their lives, but 3 different instances. And so it's a little bit confusing trying to get a grasp of how the pacing of this story is going to be, who we're really supposed to be following, what we're supposed to be most interested in. Of course, it all ties together, but it's a little bit difficult to really get into in about the first 15 minutes. So it takes a little bit of time to develop, but once you get into it, it smooths out very well, and it never really feels like I didn't understand the story. Like, I was very on pace with the story, I just had to figure out what the mystery was behind the story. The grade I'm going to give The Girl on the Train is a C+. I was really hoping for something in the same vein as Gone Girl. I really love the style, I really love the story of that film, but this one just didn't quite live up to it. It felt very similar in a lot of aspects, the style of the film itself, the way it's shot, certain scenes, the temperature of the film is very similar, but it didn't really captivate me as much as Gone Girl did. Gone Girl was a lot more focused. This one, it took a lot of different puzzle pieces and tried to sync them all together, which I did like a lot. It's just that it felt like it took a long time to get to that point where they started to be interconnected with one another. So guys, that's my review for The Girl on the Train. Let me know if you've seen it, what you think in the comment section down below. Also, what is, I think I've asked this before, but the most accurate book to film adaptation? Mine, I think, is probably Gone Girl or the Harry Potter series, because those ones are pretty accurate. But other than that, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe. Hit this little bubble of my logo right here. Make sure you follow me so that I'm having a new video coming out this weekend, hopefully on Sunday. My very first cinema showdown. I'm really looking forward to it. I put a lot of effort into it, so I hope you really like that as well. Be sure to also check out my other videos like Jack Reacher Never Go Back and Inferno. Guys, thank you again so much for watching. You really are the best, and I'll see you in the next one.